Good evening, sports fans! Crobat for the win of the Token Minorities here today with GBA D-League Season 4, Week 6. Now, I want to make an apology. As I said in my team builder yesterday, this episode of my series, of course, the D-League series, will not be edited heavily. It's just going to be straight up narration. I've been on vacation this week. I haven't had the time to do the narration alongside work and all the other things I've been doing. However, next week, it'll definitely come back, and we will have a fantastic time. Alright, so this one is against the Exerter Chief Electivires, coached by Melontosh. His link will be in the description below, per usual. Now, before we talk about the teams, I want to give a shout out to everyone in my front office who helped me out this week. So that would be Kaz, of course, so he's the jack of all trades, goat of all. He's helped in pretty much every stage of developing this team, including mock battles, team development, team revision, everything. Shout out to Gino, who helped give a mock battle and team revision. Shout out to Dallas for a mock. Shout out to Stab for a mock. Everyone helped out a bit this week, and I'm just so thankful for that. And let's talk about the team. Alright, so you guys remember my team of Jamokes from the team builder. We got the Mesprit, the Mega Gallade, the Tornadus Therian, the Tangrowth, which is Chlorophyll, by the way. We've got Weavile and Silvally Poison. And you're going to notice a big problem with my opponent's team. He is not packing the Charizard Y. I don't know what he was smoking, but you know what? It works for him. Half of my team was designed to counteract that Charizard Y. I don't know why he didn't bring it, but I guess I mean, geez, I'm guessing he kind of predicted I'd over-prep for it, but whatever he did, he's got a pretty threatening team against me here. He has a good matchup, I'm not going to lie. Depending on what sets he brought, he played this smart, it seems. So he's got Rotom Wash, he's got the Slurpuff, the Zygarde, the Mew, the Gengar, and the Spiritomb. I didn't mean to sound like I was bashing him at all. Like, he clearly chose this team. And he said at the last minute he swapped Zard out because he thought, for whatever reason, it didn't have as good of a matchup against a few threats he thought I would bring. I don't think I brought those threats, but then again, hey, it works for him, clearly. I'm not going to lie to you and say, hey, I predicted 5 of the 6 Mons this week, or anything crazy like that. I didn't. I predicted Rotom Wash, Zygarde, Mew. Those are the only 3 Mons I knew for sure that were coming. I could have sworn Zard Y, maybe even Snorlax, possibly. Maybe Slurpuff or Gengar. Those were kind of 50-50s to me. I kind of didn't expect Spiritomb, but that said, don't think it'll be a huge issue for me. My hope, at least, is that it won't be. This is an interesting team, and I'm not liking the way it's structured, because I am not as prepared to fight it as I think I should be, because I probably over-prepped for Zard Y, given that I've got Rain Dance Torn, and I've got Chlorophyll Tangrowth. Jeez. And I guess that's not going to come in any use here. Well, in any case, we're going to have to jump into this game pretty darn soon. But before we do, I want to remind you guys that we do have Los Angeles Nidokings apparel, merch. We have TTM apparel, merch, things from the office, Pokemon, Drake and Josh, you name it, we probably have it. It's in the link in the description below. Alright, let's jump into this game. Alrighty, so the game is starting up as we speak. We're challenged by Melontosh. Hey, that's your first mistake, Melon! No, I'm kidding. Okay, so we lead with Mesprit as he leads with Rotom Wash. Not unexpected. I figured this was probably going to be his lead, as thankfully I'm going to be able to set up my rocks. Turn 1! Hey, I'll take it. Spiritomb comes in, which is kind of not the best. We gotta scout this thing out. We don't want to take a Will-O-Wisp. I'm gonna U-turn on it. Because I'm fearing a possible Will-O-Wisp, or even a Ghost-type attack something, I want to go into my specially defensive Silvally Poison, which can take a Will-O-Wisp, which can take a Shadow Ball, and it does. Takes it really well. This thing has a ton of bulk this week. So, I see the leftovers. I'm gonna set a Toxic up on this thing. I want to see what kind of set this is. I'm just gonna hope it doesn't have Rest. I'm feeling like it probably does. I see Calm Mind. I really need to know what this thing's set is. It has Calm Mind, it has Shadow Ball, and that's basically what we know thus far. And if he's Rest and Sleep Talk, well, that means we have to try to find something to consistently take Shadow Balls. I'm going to go into, or Parting Shot rather, into Tornadus Therian because I want to see if he has the Will-O-Wisp. Because if he Will-O-Wisps on my Weavile switching in, Weavile is done for the game. I'm going to go into my bulky Tornadus Therian to take a Shadow Ball and take any attack that this thing has for it. I'm going to try to just U-turn out, and I'm going to bank on the fact that I don't know or don't think he's going to have Will-O-Wisp here. I'm going to try to go for Parting Shot one more time. I think he expected me to Hurricane here, do big damage, maybe even Z-Hurricane, and he wanted to rest up. So that worked out pretty well for me, actually. I can Parting Shot again, as I said. Now I'm almost certain he doesn't have Will-O-Wisp, unless he's for some reason rest with Will-O-Wisp and not Sleep Talk. This gives me a free switch into Weavile, so I can go for a free knockoff on a switch here, if I'd like. Let's just see what he's got, though. He does have Sleep Talk. Okay. We know his whole set. We know what this thing has. No big deal. We also know we can take Shadow Balls. This is not too bad. This really... I'm thinking this is going decently well so far. I can try to knock off on a switch. If I knock off a Slurpuff's Berry, this thing can't set up a Belly Drum. This is nice. This is nice. We do knock off. Does okay damage. Leftovers. So it is not a Belly Drum variant, which speaks from the highest of mountains and screams to me that it is a Sticky Web set, which means Tornadus Therian is perfect to send in here to try to get those Sticky Webs away. Unfortunately, it means I would have to get my own rocks away, but I can't have Sticky Webs up. He's going to protect, and it's nice that he doesn't have the lefties helping him out there, but I'm fearful that he's going to be Wish, and I don't want to take that later in the game. We're going to defog. He switches into Rotom, not unexpected at all. We also know that this thing is not Specs or Scarf or anything crazy, so we can freely U-turn on it. We're going to U-turn out of this thing and go right on into Santa Christ, which has some decent special bulk this week, and we know it can take a Hydro Pump, we know it can take a Volt Switch, and if he Will-O-Wisps for some reason, our only physical attack is Rock Slide, which is utterly useless without Zard Y here, so we're good. He goes to the Mew. Mew is kind of scary. I'm going to go to this thing, this Mega Gallade, which I'm hoping would be able to taunt it, but it might be tougher than I thought, because, oh no, we're in trouble now. He's setting up. And yeah, we were going to Mega Evolve and be able to attack it, but depending on what this thing has, we might be in big trouble. We got to knock it off and just hope he's not Colbur Berry. And he is. Ah, jeez. That's not a lot of fun. We're going to take a Psychic to the face and barely survive. We got to knock off again. At this point, we just need to get this thing as low as possible. And if we can take this Mew out, we would be in decent shape here, I would say. We do lose Gallade. It's a KO. He gets a KO. It's 5-6 right now. But now we've got Tornadus here, which can have speed and KO if we just hit with a Hurricane. Not unexpectedly, he switches out. We actually do U-turn. Actually, that made more sense because it would have KO'd the Mew regardless. So we do get some damage off on the Rotom as we go to the Mesprit to hopefully set up rocks again or do something of the sort. Or maybe even U-turn. We've got some options and choices here, that's for sure. He's going to do some damage to Mesprit, and we want Mesprit to not be completely worn down, ideally. He's going to go into that Spiritomb, which is sleeping. We're going to U-turn, because I think at that point we didn't want Mew to come in for free on the rocks to try to roost up. I expect him to have roost. It would just make logical sense here. And now here's Weavile. He's against the Spiritomb again, which does still have those leftovers. We're going to try to pull a double out, go into Tornadus Therian, because we expect, and it's fully expected, just, it was obvious actually, that Slurpuff was going to come in here. He's going to protect. No biggie. No biggie. I couldn't do anything anyways. I may as well just Hurricane. We got it. It's done. He's going to withdraw. Goes into the Rotom as expected. Now I'm going to just go for that Hurricane, get some damage off, maybe get a Confusion. We can tell he's very bulky, but we do get a Confusion. Yes, yes, okay. We're in business. Maybe if we can get some Confusion hacks like we did during the NPL season where we hacked out an Empoleon. That was a great moment, by the way. I highly recommend you guys go find that in this channel. So we're going to U-turn out of there, go to Uxie, and it's definitely not my best matchup here, but geez, I think he's going to go into the Mew. Yeah, he's going into the Mew. He's going to roost up. We're in trouble. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. So that's what's going to happen here. He does soft-boiled, or maybe not roost, soft-boiled, whatever. It's all the same. We're going to U-turn. Get some damage off. Now this thing... This is going to be tough to break. Between Slurpuff and Mew. Oh, no. Jeez. And I bet he might even have Aurasphere here, so we've got to be careful. Here's the Slurpuff. Of course, we can't do anything to Slurpuff. As long as he's not Wish, though, he might be Protect for some reason without Wish, but if he's not Wish, we are good. If he is Wish, we are completely and totally screwed. There's Wish. Jeez. Where is this belly drum set, this fabled belly drum set that was supposed to sweep through my team, that I was hearing so much about? And it just is not here. So, that thing's going to get full health again. And now Rotom is almost certainly going to come in. Here's Rotom. What are we going to go for now? We're going to go for Hurricane and miss! There we go! Missing Hurricanes! Wonderful! Jeez, I'm going to hear about that one from Tom, I know. Anyway. He's been mentioning all the Hurricane misses. What is that, like number 9 on the season, Tom? Alright, anyway, so we're going to go into the Mesprit, take a Volt Switch to the face. It's kind of the only thing I want to take a Volt Switch. Mew is already in a precarious position where I can't KO it with anything. He can get a free Roost off. I'm just going to have to U-turn on it as he softballs. I think I've been saying Roost, it's softball. It does the same thing, doesn't matter. We are going to set up our Stealth Rocks, though, because at this point we can't stop whatever he is doing. We may as well just get him up, let him set up. We'll see what kind of coverage he has. He might not have anything to hit this Mesprit, because I would expect Aurasphere and probably Stab Psychic, along with the Nasty Plot and the Soft Boiled. So I do U-turn there, does a little bit. Gonna go into Tornadus Therian, which, if he doesn't have Ice Beam, we are good. And he switches out, making me think he might not have the Ice Beam. So here's Rotom, we U-turn on it, and now imagine if I just hit that last Hurricane. Just imagine for a moment. That Rotom, you wouldn't see it on the screen. It would be gone. So, I guess I have no right to complain, but it's just laughable, actually. So, Rotom is still here as we now have to go to Weavile to outspeed it and KO it. But then here's Slurpuff, and here's Knockoff again. It does nothing. Now, he better not pass that Wish to Rotom. If he passes that Wish to Rotom, I am going to be absolutely livid. He sets up the Sticky Webs. Alright, I'm in with Tornadus Therian. I predicted that. That's not the worst thing in the world. He protects, fine. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I just do not want him to get that Wish into Rotom, because if he does, we are screwed. So, Rotom comes in here. He's going to almost die to Rocks. We get the Hurricane off. We actually hit this time, which maybe due to Rocks it kind of mattered less. I don't know, but whatever. It's still... I don't even know. It's just insane. Hurricane is an adventure, to say the least. We're going to take a Sludge Wave to the face with Tornadus. It should do about half if he's Scarf, which makes me think that is probably Scarf, because that's what it did. We defog to get the Sticky Web away, which means we can get free switches to Silvally, to Weavile. He's bringing in the Mew, though, and I guess he predicted that really well. As I switch in the Silvally, which is just not going to want to take a Psychic at all. We're going to go back out. I'm going to go into Tornadus, which is probably the best thing I have to deal with Mew here. Take a Psychic. Does not that much. A little under half from where I was at. Going to go for the U-turn, which does pretty okay damage. This match, by the way, is just going to keep going on and on and on. It's getting stally. I'm looking at the clock. We're probably about 2/3 of the way through the game clock. So this match is an adventure, to say the least. Maybe not quite 2/3. Maybe it's about half. But geez, we're just switching in and out, in and around. Gonna try to scout for the Aurasphere here. He does have it, so he does not have Ice Beam. We know this, which means Tornadus has a better matchup against this thing. We're gonna hit a Hurricane. Yes! Yes, we are. Do decent damage. Get the Confusion. Now, this is big. If he just hits himself, we could be in business here, guys. He doesn't hit himself on the first turn. Alright, is what it is. I'm gonna Rain Dance! Going for the Rain Dance so I do not miss Hurricanes. That would be my fear. If we miss late game, that would be just horrible. He better hit himself. He doesn't. I figured he was just going to soft boiled anyway, so that's kind of why I would do that. Here's the Hurricane. It does a good amount of damage again. Then he snaps out of Confusion, so all these Confusions were completely and totally irrelevant to this game. And guess what? I lied. It was not 2/3. It was almost at the end. The timer runs out. and we lose by timer. Because it was 5-5 the whole game. After, of course, the Rotom went down. The game ended 5-5, and he just happened to have a higher percentage of HP than I did. I feel like nothing on my side, bar Mesprit, even took a significant amount of damage. Mesprit was at about half. And I guess in fairness, nothing on his side really took a lot of damage either. But jeez. I feel like this game was just a game, I think. Probably one of the biggest wastes of time in my life. Like, I'm actually almost glad I didn't have time to edit this one this week, because it just would have taken so freaking long. But anyway, jeez. It was an adventure. It really was an adventure. I'm glad, you know, we did get a loss here, but it's not a detrimental one. We got no differential lost. And next week, obviously, is a new opportunity. We're going to play Aaron, and we are going to easily make up for this one this week. You know, Melon's a good player. He's made some mistakes in past weeks, but he didn't make any this week, that's for sure. And I think the reason why I lost was right at prep. I expected things that didn't show up. Now, granted, Charizard Y has a very good matchup against my team, and if I was not careful, it could have done big damage. So I don't think the fact that I put Rain Dance on Tornadus and bringing Chlorophyll Tangrowth was that much of a stretch. It's not like 5 of my Mons were meant to deal with Zard Y, but sometimes it's stuff like that that makes all the difference. I mean, maybe if I had Chlorophyll and Tangrowth, maybe my HP percentage might have been higher. Who knows? I really don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have, but who knows? And you know what? I don't want to talk about all the things that would have improved this game, and I'll tell you why. It's a chance I play Melon in the playoffs. And so, I'll say this. I have learned a lot from this game. I know how to better approach his team. I feel more confident going forward. I think this was a great learning experience. It wasn't a bad loss at all. It was a tough one in the sense that it took forever, but it wasn't a bad one. So, we're just going to keep pressing forward, keep doing our thing. Next week, we're gunning for a win. We're absolutely not out of it. We're definitely still in playoff contention. Let's get back to it. Next week, keep it simple. Alrighty guys, so before we go, we actually do have a short interview from our good friend, Dennis Green. Enjoy! Hello, Mr. Green. What is it about the Exeter City Electivires that...
No, we just...
Electivires?
What we thought they were. What we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. They're
Electivires.
Or who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach. Matt Leinart will be the only other person in this room, probably about 5 minutes.